How do I start this thing?
Have you plugged the bloody USB in?
Yeah, it's in.
Nah, man, that's the wrong port. Oh, wait, it's flashing now.
Is it it's recording.
Well, let's start this thing, fool!
Hello everyone, I'm Amelia.
Hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to Ask the Duo podcast, a podcast where we get deep into those late night, unfiltered conversations.
We'll be discussing all things lifestyle, relationship, mindset, and more.
Alright, let's get to it!
Welcome back. We're back again, and we have Sam Lamb still here, but we're going to be talking about something different this time. But let's start off with, how's everyone's day going so far?
Yeah, mate. Fucking today's...
Righto.
Yeah, right, mate. Yeah. Today's a pretty good day, mate. Just chilling on a Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Doing a potty.
Ish.
The huge, mate. Nothing special.
What about Sam Lamb over here?
I just woke up.
Just woke up. Yeah, nice.
At 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, in the evening.
In the evening.
Nocturnal. All right. Well, this one we are going to talk about scary or spooky stories, experiences.
Interesting.
Ooh.
All right. So is it just stories that, we experience? How do we overcome it, or?
No, well, like it could be a scary experience in life, or it could be a supernatural experience. So, go hard or go home.
Does investing in Luna count?
Yes. Investing in Luna does
Did
count.
Luna actually split? Because it had Luna and there's Luna 2.
Yeah, there's classic and there's that.
Yeah, what happened?
It's shit. They're both dead.
Oh,
Yeah, they tried to. He tried to revive it and just went to shit.
with the second one.
Well, yeah, the second one.
Oh,
He's trying to make more money.
Look at our crypto accounts.
Yeah, it's fucked, but it is what it is, mate. You know what I mean? Like, shit goes up, shit comes down.
But long-term investment, you never know, could come back.
Yeah.
As a meme.
All right, who wants to start with their spooky story?
I'll start, but it's not really a spooky story. It was more like a life-threatening moment.
All right, then let's hear it.
Well, I was driving my car one day. We went for a cruise. I can't remember when, but I think Andy was with me in the passenger, and I fucking fanged the shit out of it. And we were in like peak hour, well, not really peak hour traffic, but like it was nighttime traffic in the city. And I went to stop, which, you know what a brake pedal feels, you get that feedback, blah, blah, blah. And I went to slow down again, and my brake pedal went all the way down to the ground. This is in my Evo, so I was pretty scared because I was going fast. And when you have no brakes, there's no way of stopping but to hit someone in front of you. So I was like, oh, fuck, what I got to do? So
Flintstones?
yeah. So first instincts was to grab the handbrake. And second was to use the engine to slow down. So just throw in a gear and just slow it down by that way. But luckily my handbrake was really good. It actually slowed me down to like stand still. No, like you don't yank it. You slowly, gradually pull it.
Yeah.
But luckily that worked where I could stop.
Mm.
And Andy was looking at me like as if I was joking. He was like,
he was sitting with you in
He was
the
sitting
car.
with me in my car.
Yeah.
Were the cars in front of you?
Yeah, it was
like peak,
traffic.
peak.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm fucking not kidding, dude. Why the fuck would I be kidding? And he's like, oh, shit. And the pedal was still stuck to the ground, so I tried to pump it. Yeah, I was trying to pump it just to get air back into it. I mean, not air, but fluid back into it. And it started working. But every time I would tap it, it would just go straight down.
Is that because there's a
Air pocket.
air bubble in your thing?
No. So what happened is we stopped and I went to look at the brakes all the way around. There was the back right brake caliper came loose.
What the hell?
So,
So the brake line came loose.
uh,
So I was like, holy fuck. Luckily, it didn't like fully pop off, because if
Yeah.
it fully popped off, we're fucked.
like no
dead set
brakes at
fucked.
all. Yeah.
So luckily, I had tools in the car and shit, so I just screwed it back on and pumped it up, and it was fine. So I was like, fuck, dude. But the shit thing is because you know how potent brake fluid is? It burns paint and shit like that. It kind of went all over my wheels,
Yeah.
and like I lost some of that paint.
oh shit.
Yeah.
On the T's.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
So I was like, no.
Yeah,
what
for
the
those who
fuck?
don't know, these like wheels are expensive. They're
Yeah.
like, would you classify as like a high end wheel?
Yeah, it is high end, but extremely rare. It's for the people out there who want to know. It's Ray's T37s, but not just any T37s. It's the OG like bronze color, which I managed to get a set before they fully discontinued it, which was back in like 2018 or 17. But they're fucking expensive to find them anyway. But yeah, so some of that brake fluid went onto it, so I was a little devoed. But yeah, but luckily, I'm gladful that like he didn't like.
You didn't hit anyone.
Yeah,
or,
I didn't. Yeah, but it was one of those moments where you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's actually really similar to something I was planning to say is I used to drive a RAV4, like a really old, shitty RAV4, manual as well. And all this time, when you press on the brake, it gives you that feedback, that little hard little feedback. But then when you keep pressing onto it or you hold it for like a split of a second, it would just drop to the ground, similar to yours. And I've been telling my family about it, saying that there's something wrong with the brakes, but no one really listened to me. So I just kept driving with it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then there was this one night where it was full hardcore raining, like full pouring down. I was coming down this hill and the brake just completely like gave out. And I was like, this is green light. So obviously I'm like taking off at normal speed. And then and I was coming down the hill, so I'm just trying to brake a little bit, but it just like completely stopped. And then I skidded because it was raining, and the car was heading towards, so like in the middle, you know how the traffic light, there's like the pedestrian, the street lamp, and also the pedestrian thing where you can press.
The crossing.
Yeah, pedestrian crossing thing. So my car like locked because of the wetness, and also the brake wasn't working, and I'm like heading towards this street lamp, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna die, and like couldn't brake. I'm going at about 60, and then like luckily, like I just remember like these little tips that my dad used to tell me, because he used to be a mechanic, and he would tell me like, if you can't brake, just try and pump the brake or like pump the clutch or something. So I was just pumping the brake and nothing was happening. And then right like 1 millimeter before hitting the street lamp, I like pumped the brake so hard it actually came back, and then I stopped like just before hitting the lights. I was like, oh shit, man, that like my life was just flashing before my eyes. And then there was like a car about to turn out like in front of me that was like a perpendicular to the street I was on, and their eyes were just like, holy shit, what the hell just happened? Because like if I hit that street lamp, it would have fell and hit them as well. So I think they were pretty scared, and like pouring in the rain and everything, so it was a pretty scary moment.
Yeah, it's a close call.
Did you keep driving after that?
Yeah, I just drove back home. I was like, close call, go home, have dinner, I'll go this thing. But yeah, moral of the story, check your brakes and make sure you don't ignore it.
Yeah, it's important, eh?
Especially in the rain too, like
Yeah.
slippery.
It's fucked. Sam, do you have any scary moments or close calls?
Near-death experience.
Ghost stories?
Sure. Anyone that's scared, please cover your ears.
So this happened in Vietnam. What year was it? I don't even know. When I was a teenager, maybe like early 2000s.
Hmm.
So it was a family trip to Vietnam. I was staying at my grandfather's house in Saigon, and this is like a 5-story house. It's pretty big, and yeah, the empty rooms were up on the tallest level, the highest level, and it was me and my brother sharing a room. There's no one outside, so we had the whole top floor to ourselves basically, and it's like 3 bedrooms up the top floor, like a living space and balconies all around. So yeah, it happened like a week after we stayed there. We're staying there for like a month plus, and
Is that your first time staying there, or you've been there
oh,
before?
we've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there before. So usually we go every year, at least try to, at least I think, to visit
Yeah.
the grandparents.
Mm.
And yeah, so we stayed there for a week already. Nothing really happened. Just happy. And then this one night, I woke up in my bed. I was sharing a bed with my brother. And in Vietnam, back in the day, you'd have mozzie nets all around your bed.
Mm.
The mozzies can't eat you.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just tuck it underneath your mattress. Yeah, all around, so mozzies can't get to you. But yeah, I woke up and it was, I think, 1 or 2 a.m. and the light in the bedroom was open. And I don't know why it was open, but why it was on.
So it was off when you guys went to sleep.
Yeah. So and there's no one upstairs. So it's just me and my brother upstairs. So we slept with the door open as well.
Mm.
And yeah, the light was on. I was like, why the fuck is the light on? Did someone turn it on? Didn't think much of it. I got my brother to turn it off. I woke my brother up and made him crawl underneath the mozzie net to turn the light off, and then he crawled back in, and then we went back to sleep. In the morning, at around 6 a.m., we woke up, and the light was on again. And I was like, why the fuck is it on? So I went and asked everyone in the house if anyone turned the light on, or if anyone came upstairs to check on us and left the light on. And they said no one goes up there. Like, it's just you guys. Yeah, no one has time to go up there. It's a lot of effort because it's all stairs, and everyone's usually asleep on the second, third. Yeah, everyone's asleep on the second and third floor. And so we didn't think much of it. Went out during the day, came back, and the next night I woke up randomly, and it was around 2 a.m. I think, and the light was on again. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you actually say it out loud, or are you just like
thinking in my head? Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, what the fuck? No one's gonna hear me. I was just waking brother up. I was just like, why is this on again? This time I was like, okay, this is a bit sketchy. So I can't remember if I got my brother to turn it off, or if I went. I think I got my brother to turn it off again. He's just like, why the fuck is this on again? He just crawled out, turned it off, went back to bed, and then again at 5 a.m. I woke up, so a bit earlier. It was still dark outside, and the light was on again. I was like, okay, this is so stupid. Like, who's fucking with? Someone has to be fucking with us.
Yeah.
And then went and asked everyone again, like, seriously, who's fucking with us?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, nah, no one goes up there. Like, why the fuck would we, like, in the middle of the night just walk up there, turn on your lights, like, multiple times? And I was like,
no one has time for that.
Yeah, no one has time for that. So me and my brother decided to put tape on the switch, the light switch. We were trying to be like 5head. And yeah, so that they couldn't turn it on and shit, right? So I went to bed with the tape on the switch. I woke up at like 1 or 2 a.m. again. And the light was on. I look at the switch and it's switched off, but the light bulb's on.
What the hell?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So now I'm scared. I'm hiding underneath the blanket looking out this little hole I made next to my head, so I could stare outside into the living room thing outside. And I'm just laying there, like thinking, can someone please? I hope this light turns off. So I hope someone comes and turns off the light for me. I'm just thinking that in my head. And then outside, like maybe 10-15 minutes later, the room outside gets darker and darker. Even with the light on the room is on, like it emits the light outside, but this shadow just takes over the room outside. Next minute, there's this fucking shadow of a girl, long hair, all black.
Can't see the face?
No face. Yeah, she sticks her hand onto the switch. The light goes out.
Oh my god.
And I'm staring at her through this hole underneath this blanket. And I'm pretty sure she can fucking see me.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
see
still like,
you
looks like
looking-
if she had a face, she'd be staring straight at me. But she's turning the light off for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit.
Chill.
Yeah, she didn't even have to like flick the switch or anything. Yeah.
But what does so if you saw it, like, does it look like an actual human? with
Yep, just a
in
human
her
form
face?
with just absorbs light, like just as black.
So it's not
pitch
like a
black.
shadow.
It's like a shadow, but like a black hole.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's like as if a really bright light is shining on them, and it's like
There's
just
no
to
light.
See the silhouette.
Yeah, just the outline. But outside, like she
There's
somehow ate all the light out.
Does she
Oh my
have
God.
legs?
No, she's just in a dress.
Just hovering,
Just,
eh?
yeah, basically, yeah.
Dude, that's so creepy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And then, yeah, I couldn't even sleep after that. So I just lay there looking out the door, and she disappeared after that. Like, yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Were you scared?
I was scared, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
of course you would be fucking shit
I
scared.
wasn't like crazy scared. I was like,
More
this is
shocked.
like, yeah, this is like the shit I hear about people experiencing when they go to Vietnam and shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, war-torn country, heaps of people dying. Yeah, people just see shit.
That's so
Yeah.
scary.
So the next morning, I go and tell my relatives, my parents, like what happened, what I saw and shit. And they're like, "Oh, that's that's your auntie, that's your mom's sister that died."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay."
Thanks for
Yeah.
telling me.
So apparently during the war, I think she was 17 or 18. She was really young, but she was my mom's adopted sister, and she died in her sleep in that room.
Mm.
In her sleep.
In her sleep, yeah. So she doesn't even know she's dead. Yeah. My grandparents adopted whatever kids they could. Because there's heaps of kids that are like, they had no parents or their parents died or some shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
My grandparents were well off. One was a doctor.
Mm.
So, yeah. So I think
Yeah.
people just give their kids to him. I don't know.
Was she just checking on you guys or something?
I have no idea, maybe, yeah. I think she's like, who the fuck's sleeping in my bed?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
But-
a different bed, but
Yeah. But
Fuck.
so the first 2 or 3 days, did the light switch actually switch open? Like when
yeah,
you-
it was switched. Like, it flicked. And when we put the tape on, it was just off. Oh, the next morning, the light was off, but the bulb was blown. Yeah, like the bulb stopped working.
how the hell?
Yeah.
That's
Too
weird.
much.
That's weird, yeah. And then I think a few days later, when we went out, I came back home. The door was locked from the inside when no one was home. Yeah, so she locked the door, or something locked the door from the inside.
From the inside.
Yeah.
She thought that you guys were intruding.
Yeah, I think so. She's probably, who the fuck are you guys?
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
But then after that, it was fine. And there's another time where one of the family dogs, usually on the bottom floor, and we all went out, came home, the dog was missing, and no one was home at all. And Vietnam has like crazy security because you don't want people to steal your shit. So there's like padlocks, and then like just locks everywhere on the front doors. And yeah, so the dog was missing. We're like, where the fuck is the dog? Here barking on the 5th floor upstairs. The dog is in a different room's bed, but on our floor, and the mozzie net is all tucked in nicely.
Oh my
So they trapped the
God.
dog in the mozzie net,
How the
and the dog's just
hell?
barking like happily, like playing. Yeah,
Oh.
we're like, what the fuck?
That's scary.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the-
wonder if the dog can see them. though.
yeah,
Can
dog
they?
eyes. Yeah.
yeah. They can.
Like all dogs?
Apparently, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It
Um,
just gave me chills.
So then on the 4th floor, what's there? 'Cause you-
Rooms,
just
rooms and storage. Yeah, so just imagine like a building, but like there's stairs in the middle, and there's rooms all around. Like kind of like
Uh,
yeah.
But then no one lived in the 4th floor?
I think my sisters and stuff were staying on the floor, and then relatives on the 2nd and 3rd. No, 3rd floor was karaoke room and shit. 2nd floor was like
True shit. That's
yeah, it's a big house. That's an old house. There's a new one that's way nicer. My grandparents have passed away, so
Hmm.
is that building still there?
yeah. So that it's rented out to people, and because my grandfather passed away, sometimes I see him in
Oh,
that old
really?
house. Especially when they're not keeping it clean. My grandfather was a
Like,
clean
you
freak.
guys better
And
clean.
whenever they have a nap or some shit, they see him and he's like, "Why the fuck are you dirtying my house?" And then they go clean straight away when they wake up. Yeah, and then they don't see him. Yeah,
True.
apparently that's what the tenants say.
That's kind of funny though.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And
That's pretty
people say sometimes, like the neighbors across the
Yeah.
street, they sometimes see my mom's sister during the day. She's like a normal girl. Yep, she's just brushing her hair on the balcony.
That's scary.
Yeah, they see her. Yeah,
Only-
I think right before nighttime.
Why is it always brushing the hair though? Like for the girls?
Yeah,
'Cause
she had long hair. Like, yeah, when she
even
was alive. she
scary
had long hair.
movies. like,
Yeah,
Always
it's weird,
brushing.
right?
yeah.
Apparently, they don't know that they're dead,
Yeah. I mean, if she died in her
and she's
sleep,
young too.
I wonder what she died from.
I think she was sick or she had some illness,
Mm.
and she was taking meds, I think. But yeah, right in the
Shit.
middle.
So would they be attached to the house then? Because there's nothing else that's really
I'm
theirs,
guessing so.
right?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Scary.
Oh, there's like crazy stories that I've heard from Vietnam and other shit I've seen.
Scary stories.
Yeah, like the one about the little shrines and shit. Yeah,
Mm.
where people were like, you know how in Australia you see like people put up flowers or crosses and stuff.
Yeah.
At accident sites or where someone's passed away.
Mm.
So there's this. Maybe it's at the new house. It's like a new area, so there's still a lot of vacant lots and stuff, and new streets, and a lot of back streets. So like maybe like a few hundred meters, maybe a kilometer down the road, there's like a lot of vacant lots and back alleys and stuff. But there was a shrine there, and every day there'll be like new food and like new stuff, like
Yeah, like
the
offerings.
offerings, yeah, different offerings every day
Yeah.
there. And I think my cousins or someone, I think it was one of my cousins or like just neighbors' kids or something. They went there one day and they're like, "Oh, it's like good food, no one's eating and stuff." So they started fucking with it. They started eating the food,
Mm.
and then they fucked with the shrine. And I can't remember what they did, but basically when they were doing it, the light post above them went off. They got so scared they started running back. Every time they passed the light post, it would just turn off.
That's
So the
scary.
lights were just turning off
Following
wherever
them.
they were going. Yeah. They
Yeah.
were just screaming, shitting themselves, and yeah, they ran all the way home and told everyone what happened. I think then a whole group of people went to look at the shrine, and there was like kids' clothing and stuff. So obviously someone's kid died there.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
these kids were just fucking with the person's stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's what you get, man. Like, it's a shrine for a reason.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize.
Yeah, just disrespectful people.
Yeah.
Apparently, the same thing happens when you step over people's graves and stuff. They sometimes feel like someone grabbed them and stuff.
Mm.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah. That's why I'm always like, fuck. When you go to
Be
those.
super respectful, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Do you have any other stories?
I don't really have any, like nothing that scary. The only other one was like, I only remember this because it was like a hike in Hong Kong and it's more a real life experience. And so I was hiking with my friend and her brother, and we've done this hike before. And Hong Kong gets really humid and foggy all the time. So especially when you're hiking up in the mountain, it gets extremely foggy, especially from the humidity. And I think we were reaching the peak of the hike or something like that. And we were just walking and it just gets foggier and foggier. And we're like, okay, like didn't think anything of it, just kept walking. And we're next to like this monorail center. It's like where they kind of monitor and just like a mid checkpoint for the cargo thingies that carry you up the mountain. So there's two options. You can go out with those cargo seats and get up to the top of the mountain, or you can hike it. So we're just walking, and we've done this hike before, so we're like, yeah, whatever, keep walking. And then within like the fogginess, you see like this really humongous dog like standing up. And we're like, okay, maybe it's just like a one random lost dog or like wild dog or whatever. So we're just like, yeah, keep walking. Kept walking slowly. And as you walk into the midst of the fog, you start to see, like, you kind of make out the shapes of a pack of dogs. And then behind the pack of dogs, you see like little puppies. So, like, at that point, I don't know what my friends were thinking, but for me, I was like, oh shit, this is not good because there's three of us and there's like a whole pack of dogs, and it looks like they're protecting the puppies too, which means like they could get more aggressive. And then my friend just like got so scared, she started running towards the monorail center thing, and there's like these posts that's like holding up the center because that's where it's not a monorail, the cargo things, and it's like holding up where the cargo cable cars go past. And then we started walking towards there as well, just to kind of walk along there. And my friend was climbing up the post, and then there's like a dude that's monitoring the center, and he comes out and he's like, dude, you guys can't climb on this thing. There's actually a sign that says, please do not climb. And we're like, but we're so scared because there's like dogs on one side that's like ready to pounce, and then this dude on the other side yelling at you, telling you to get off. So like, what the hell do we do? But then my friend just ignored him because obviously it's like a life or death kind of thing. And she like literally was like halfway up that pole. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, like I really can't remember what we did, but I think she ended up climbing like just over the fence and just walking to the other side, which is, it doesn't pass the pack of dogs, but we just had to slowly and calmly just walk past the dogs and just make sure we don't scare them. And then eventually we made ourselves past the pack of dogs, but I think it was probably collectively just 5 minutes, but in that moment it felt like a lifetime just trying to pass the pack of dogs. And yeah, that was like a scary experience, like nothing like the ghost thing, but it's just, yeah, you don't know what the dogs will do to you.
And they can sense fear as well. So yeah, they'll chase you or try to bite you. They know you're scared.
Yeah. And it's kind of hard to tell yourself not to like be scared too, especially you don't know what you're gonna do. Yeah, I just found it funny that my friend was like climbing up that pole and being yelled at.
Yeah, those like Sam said, dogs can smell and see and feel.
I think most animals it's pretty crazy.
Cool.
They can sense it.
And they can just sense it. So, and I think the reason why they were reacting that way is because they probably had like little puppies.
The puppies. I'm pretty sure they were like their parents.
Territorial.
Yeah. But I actually had another dog experience in Bali. So similar thing, but it was like a hens thing, so it was just girls, there's no guys with us. And we had a restaurant we were going to, and we're just going to walk there. And where our villa was, outside, there's a few like alleyways, but I think we took the wrong turn. And this alleyway was completely pitch dark. Like, it had lights maybe at the very front, but as you walk down, it's like pitch black. And I'm like, guys, I don't think this is the right way. And then I think they were just talking or something, so they didn't really hear me, or they just kept walking. And then as we walked closer and closer to the end of that alleyway, there was like these dogs that started barking at us, and they were like fierce barking. It wasn't even like curious kind of bark. And we're like, okay. And they were like, and there's no other ways because it's just an alleyway. There's no left or right turn. The only way back is the way we came in from. So obviously all of us got scared, and then we were just trying to tell each other to like stay calm and like don't run. But as we kind of like were standing there, you know, discussing that and trying to turn around, they started running towards us. And we're like, oh shit, now we can't really like be calm, because they say if you run, they're gonna run too, but they're already running towards us. It's like, what do you do? So it was like the fastest we've ever had to leg ourselves out of this alleyway that we've already walked so far into, and plus it's like pitch black. And these are wild dogs, like they're like wild Bali dogs. We don't know where they've been or where they came from.
Yeah, rabies.
So like, oh shit, better get away, like out of here. So we're just legging it and screaming and everything, and just like ran out. So that was another scary dog experience.
Always carry Pokeballs with
Gotta
you.
catch more. So do we have time for one last story?
I'll tell you my story. Just thinking back. So when I'll tell you about my dad's situation. So back in 2009, my dad passed away, and ever since he passed away, we experienced some fucking strange shit to the house. So numerous occasions where like I'd be sleeping at home by myself or mum's home, and we have like a home alarm, and the home alarm is never activated unless we are like out. Anyway, at 3 a.m., this fucking alarm would just randomly like go off. It just siren. I'd fucking wake up like freaking out, like what the hell's going on?
Are these the old school high pitched ones that like just scream in your ear, like?
Yeah, so it's it's not old school. It's kind of like the standard home alarms that you.
But it's like really
get.
high pitch, right?
Yeah, it's like really, really loud. But anyway, randomly at like 3 a.m. in the morning, it'd just go off, and I'd just run out and be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
At the same time.
Yeah, every night it would go off at that same
exactly
time.
3 or
Yeah, exactly
shit.
3 a.m. I think it was like not every night, but every 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "What the hell's going on?" So I'll have to turn off the alarm, and my mum's scared because she's like, "No, fuck that shit." And then I'm like, "Yeah, okay, fine, whatever." I turn it off, and then during the day when I would go out, you know how you have your garage door, you press the button and it closes and shit like that. So no one would be home because mum would work, I'd go to work, and I would come home and the garage door's open.
What?
And I'm like, what the hell? So I'd call my mum, be like, did you leave it open or whatever? She's like, no, like I've been at the shop at work. And I'm like, well, hang on, what the fuck? Why is this shit opening by itself? So, and the weird thing is the alarm situation as well as the garage door situation would happen in intervals. So one day would be the alarm, the next day would be the garage door.
Like it's always in that sequence.
Yeah. And we would have our neighbors also tell us, like, why is your garage door opening? And, like, are you guys whatever it is? And I'm like, well, no, like, no one's home. Like, I'm working, mum's working, no one's ever home. So it doesn't make sense that shit's fucking, like...
opening and working itself.
And the weird thing is I'm not too sure if this actually happened, but we moved out, we sold the house, and the new guys who bought the house, they didn't last in that house for very long. I think they moved out within a few months. Like they sold the house within like a few months.
Shit.
Yeah.
So I think maybe my dad's spirit was kind of like lingering still in there. Yeah, but it was always the garage door and the alarm, and it would always go off.
Yeah.
And then just like, because I used to go out really late back in those days, like we would go out to like 6 a.m, whatever it is. So anytime I'd come home anywhere between like 3 to maybe 5 a.m, when I park my car, I have the garage door, and when you open the garage door, you have the stairs that go up to the next level, and then on the right-hand side, it's like your living room. So my dad had like a massage chair that would basically face the
Door?
not the door, but that hallway. So he could see if I was going up. Anyway, every time I come home, you know how when you have that sense where you know someone's sitting there looking at you? So I would always have that feeling that someone's like there looking at you, and then you just walk up.
Yeah.
So every time I come home, that's the kind of feeling that I'd have. And I would always have like your hair and your skin like stands up.
Yeah.
It stands up automatically because you feel like someone's looking at you.
Did he use that chair a lot? Like, was he always
so
on that?
the next point there is that chair, when you turn it on, it has like a chime introduction. It's like, oh, hello, I forgot what the brand is, but the brand, it would like intro itself and say the brand name.
Yeah.
And it would do like this little like chimey music thing. That thing used to go off randomly in the night. So like anywhere above like 1 a.m or whatever it was, that chair used to just turn on by itself.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Did you hear
and-
the massage like? Zzz?
No, you just hear
Chime.
the chime.
So someone's turning it on.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
So you just go ding ding, and then it'd be
What
like
the hell?
hello, and does this little music thing.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what the fuck? And I'm the only one that's up at that time.
Yeah.
Because I go out so late.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, what the hell? Like,
Mm.
fucking strange. But yeah, pretty sure fucking dad's spirit was lingering. Because, yeah, because I have access to check like database
Yeah.
on property and shit. So I could see that whoever that bought the house after us, they didn't last for very long. I think they stayed there for maybe 8 months or something. And then they sold and moved out.
Have you ever like just spoken out and be like, "Hi, Dad," or something like that?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't, like, I knew it was him, but, like, you don't think of it much.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just kind of like, well,
Just acknowledge it.
yeah, you just acknowledge and you just kind of like move on.
So, do you think it's not as scary knowing that it's someone you know versus
Yeah, if it's a
you
loved
don't
one,
know?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They won't want to harm you or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a massive
Yeah,
difference.
for sure.
Yeah, if you know potentially that it's someone that's family, as opposed to like someone that you
Stranger, yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, because
Then-
you don't know who they are or like what
Yeah.
their intentions are.
Yeah, but I mean, you know intentions if it's a random though, because then they would do something. They'll use their energy or whatever to do something, and you'd feel it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my experience. But I mean, my sister had a even more intense experience.
What with your dad?
Yeah, where
At her place.
at the same place
Oh, okay, yeah.
What
where
the
she actually saw him.
what the hell?
Yeah, she actually saw him walk down the stairs.
Like in his normal form.
Yeah, in his normal form,
Wow.
dude.
But it looks like a normal human walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
What?
And the fucked up thing was, right, she saw him wear like the clothes that he was cremated in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she saw him walk down the stairs and go to the massage chair, and it turned on like I always hear it.
yeah.
And she was shit scared.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, that's hectic.
Yeah.
Did he say hi to her or anything?
No, just
Just did his own
like
thing,
a
like,
shadow. Just
yeah.
you could see him walk downstairs, go to the massage chair, and that was it.
Damn.
So he was definitely like fucking
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the same for other Asian cultures, but I know for like Chinese, they say on a specific day after they pass, I think it's like 14 or 12 days
yeah,
or something.
14 days.
Yeah, you'll see them, like they'll come back.
I think that was the day that she saw him.
yeah,
Because he goes 14 days and then 100 days.
yeah, they'll come back.
Yeah.
So like you have to do like if you're
offering
full,
stuff.
yeah, offering like you have to if you're really traditional, like just to I think say your proper goodbyes
Yeah,
or
you
something
get
like that.
what's that? What's the English version of bison?
Yeah,
Yeah, is
Offering,
it
like
Yeah.
offering, but
burning
like
Yeah.
incenses
yeah,
and offerings?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to do that for 14 days and 100 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact story, but my mum told me something similar. So my granddad passed away and she moved to Hong Kong just to like help him out for those last few days and stuff. And then he passed away. And this is probably about at that 14 days or 12 days. And she was in the shower and she was like just coming out and the door was closed and locked. And then, she was like getting changed or whatever she was doing, and the door handle was just like someone's trying to open the door.
Yeah.
And like she knows it could have been my granddad, but she was so scared because it's like someone's just trying so hard to open the door, and she's like, "What the hell?" And she knows that no one was in the apartment, so I think it's like similar situation that like when they come back and they're just visiting.
Yeah.
Really scary.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is a strange experience when you are in the
Experience it.
moment.
When you actually, especially people that don't believe it and then they see it or
Actually
it happens to them,
happens.
Yeah.
you have to like kind of see it to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, experience it,
Yeah,
right?
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, it comes in different types of experience.
Mm,
Like, it's never always the same, but
Yeah, it can be very subtle or just
yeah.
little things we don't even realize.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that was a pretty hectic experience. But I mean, the other one, just to finish it off, the other one was when we were
Yeah.
driving. So we used to go out, like I said, really late. And I think it was probably around like 2 or
This
3.
was just after your dad passed as well.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Yeah, so it would have been pretty late though, because
Because we passed the funeral home, remember?
yeah, I think it's whatever that road is. I can't remember, Creek Road or something. No, something else.
No, some other one.
Anyway, we were driving, and it's like no one on the road.
Yeah,
Pitch-
it's like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m.
yeah, 3 or 4
2,
a.m.
Yeah.
And I was just driving. I think we weren't even talking,
No, we weren't talking. Yeah.
because we were pretty fucking tired.
Yeah.
And I was driving, and then I think we passed the funeral home, and then we passed like a church.
Yeah, the church and
Church
the
on the
school.
left, and the school.
Towards Bunning.
Yeah, and then I saw this
The
white.
lights just turned red, right?
I think
Out of nowhere. There's no one around, and we had to stop at this light. At the crossing, the school. And it's like basically the school and then the...
yeah, and that light never goes red.
Yeah, you have to press the
You have to
pedestrian
press the
cross,
button
and then it turned red.
you-
And then
yeah.
we were just like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't say anything, but on the corner of my eye when I was looking out the passenger side, above the power lines and shit, I saw this white thing like following us. It looked like bedsheet.
Yeah,
Following.
Following
Yeah,
the
What
car.
it was-
the
yeah.
hell?
yeah. And then from my view, because I was in the driver's seat,
Yeah.
I saw like kind of like a bed sheet or
Bedsheet
cloth
or a big white
big
bag or something.
white
So
bag.
it's not
Like-
even like a plastic bag. It's like
It's
massive.
like a,
It's-
pretty big.
It was massive.
yeah.
yeah.
And from my end, because I'm in the driver's side, I just see it go from like my right peripheral, like all the way to the left.
What the hell?
And I started driving, and then
Yeah.
I was like, the fucked up thing was
We didn't say anything.
we didn't say anything,
Yeah.
and then we both said, "Did you just see that?"
Yeah.
At the same time,
Yeah.
That's freaking scary
Yeah.
ass.
and then we thought it was a plastic bag.
yeah.
And then plastic bag can't really do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a plastic bag, when it floats in the air,
It doesn't go that high up. This is above power lines. It's floating above the power lines perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's like
Just
right on
hovering.
right next to us, kind of thing,
Oh
above
my
us.
god.
yeah. And then we were looking back in the mirror and shit, and there was nothing
Gone.
white. It was
Holy
like,
crap.
and that's why we were like, "Holy fuck!
Yeah.
What
What
the?"
the fuck was that?
Did you just like speed all the way home trying to get
Well, no,
home?
I just
This is the same.
yeah, it's just driving normally, but we
Yeah.
were like, "Holy shit! What the fuck was that?"
But it's weird that you guys both actually saw it too at the same time. Because usually it's like
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
person.
usually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah,
That was weird.
that was fucking strange.
Mm.
But yeah, that was an
Well,
experience.
if someone was just actually playing with bed sheets and like flicking it in the air.
They would have been electrocuted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like that light was a confirmation because it never goes
It
red.
never goes red. Like, we
Yeah.
had to stop there.
You have to actually stop there and press the
Press
button.
it.
Yeah. Because you pass that road all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So you know.
So that's for like school kids to cross
Yeah.
because we're in front of the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
All right. Well, I think we've spooked enough people for this episode. I know there's going to be more, so we'll come back with some more maybe another time.
yeah, 100%. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for listening, guys.
And thank you for sharing, Sam, your spooky stories.
All good. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much if you have reached to the end. We really appreciate you for tuning in. And if you like what you hear, please share it with your friends or family and subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you are listening to.
Make sure you share any topics you'd like us to cover or questions you might have to our Instagram.
Slide it into our DMs.
Pika pika. You can also stay in the loop of all the behind the scenes and the release of our new episodes there too. Our Instagram is Ask the Duo Podcast. That's AskTheDuoPodcast. Man, feels like I'm in a spelling bee competition right now. Alright, that's it for now, and we'll see you back here for our next episode. Bye!
See ya!